Hello, everybody. Welcome to this Saturday live stream. So we're going to do a couple of things today. First, we're going to talk about treasuries, just like the thumbnail and title suggests, because I have my questions about what they're going to be able to do and how long they're going to be able to do it for. And I think it's not about spreading FUD or spreading rumors. It's just to really give you a little bit of insight into the background as to what these treasury companies are doing and potentially what they might falter in the future, so you can be aware before you say, you know what, I'm going to go all in forever. So we'll talk about that. And also, today is a day where we do our Tangem giveaway. So I'll be giving away 3 cold storage wallets on this live stream. I'll be picking them from the Twitter account that everybody had to like and repost and all that stuff. And to help me do these things, I've got a special guest today. Gem Crypto is going to come in and help us out with these things and talk about treasuries. And it's great to have her here because I will tell you, one of the problems that I have is seeing everything through the eyes of an American. So Gem from Hong Kong, welcome to the show for the first time.
Hey, Rob, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Yeah, and see, the reason why, the primary reason why I asked you was because the video that you did about Tangem, because I'm very stringent on safety. I have had people, I have had friends, I have had subscribers talk to me about stuff like this, where they said, hey, I lost my entire life savings last night, and I don't know what happened. Some people leave them on exchanges. We tell them not to do that, but they still do it. I've also had a friend from Puerto Rico lose his entire stash, millions and millions of dollars, because of a hack from a cold storage device. Now, we don't think it's a hack from like remotely. We think it might be an inside type of thing. But this is why I'm always preaching about storage diversification and why I wanted to talk about Tangem and why I was hoping that, of course, you could help me out with that. So perfect. Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, I've been using Tangem for past more than 2 years, and I absolutely love the whole UI UX, how simple it is, and how easy to set up the whole thing. Like literally, I'm very confident. People like even my mom, because she's not like a tech savvy person by all means, but like I'm confident that just like give her the card, she'll be able to set up within 3 minutes, no issue.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're going to give some away to some lucky people. They can use it and hopefully they can diversify a little bit so they don't lose everything like a couple of my friends have. But before we do all that, let's talk about this. These treasury companies. Now, there's many a treasury company that's out there. The big one that would come to mind would be MicroStrategy, Metaplanet. They put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. They're going to probably hold forever or for quite a long time. But we talked about recently about other companies. One of those was Bit Digital. This was 4 or 5 days ago. They were a Bitcoin mining company. They dumped all their Bitcoin and they went for an Ethereum only strategy. And we talked about, we had the listen to the CEO and he talked about why he did it, why they're going to do that moving forward. And then also there's another one, a different one called Bit Mining. And they were into Bitcoin mining. I believe they still are, but now they're pivoting to Solana and they plan a 300 million token treasury. They state that they'll convert some of its existing crypto holdings into Solana and adopt a long-term holding strategy. It doesn't specify how much it reserves, but just so you guys know, they don't have that much. I found it interesting. They're a Bit mining company. They have 19 Bitcoin worth only about $2 million, but they want to put on Solana as well. Before we get into the other stuff, I just want to, Gem, for you in Hong Kong, and correct me and forgive my ignorance at this place, but so Hong Kong is not mainland China. I mean, it is part of China, but there is like 2 separate rules essentially. There is like Hong Kong and there's mainland China. How does this actually work? Because I've been in since 2017. Mainland China was supposed to ban Bitcoin and everything around it, and now it seems like it bans it every so often. Am I just forgetting things? Tell me how this actually works.
Well, Hong Kong is a very special region. I mean, technically we are in China, but we are under different legislation and stuff. So Hong Kong people get their own passport, own currency, but that's going to be another topic that we could dive into in the future. But like Hong Kong has always been like a test bed for China. Hong Kong, now we have like Hong Kong government issues license to a dozen exchanges. So we have local exchanges, but Hong Kong people technically can't touch like contract trading or those like degen stuff. So we technically can't touch, and we can technically use only those Hong Kong licensed exchanges. So China is kind of using Hong Kong because like China have a lot of crazy ideas, but like Hong Kong is, I mean, China being a big country with huge population, if China wants to be innovative about stuff, they can't use China to do such things. So they're using Hong Kong as like all these like crazy experiment. And Hong Kong right now is positioning themselves to be another so-called crypto hub because we are trying to compete with places like Singapore and Dubai, because Singapore kind of like took the title from us back in 2021 or something. So Hong Kong right now is turning in 180. So like back in 2018, Hong Kong people or like Hong Kong governments was really crashing down on crypto, saying it's all scams and stuff. But like because of financial issues or financial reasons, Hong Kong government put a 180 in 2022 in like a fintech week, and in front of everyone saying that Hong Kong is going to be, oh, right now we are full on crypto, and the rest is like history. So there's a new stablecoin law coming on effect on 1st of August, and all eyes is going to be on Hong Kong because like this is the first region in the whole world to have like a proper stablecoin act.
Interesting. So let me ask you this then. So you just talked about how you guys are kind of catching up, Singapore taking the title back in 2021. What is everybody in Hong Kong buying crypto for, digital assets for? Is it because of like a real world utility? Is it for payments like you just talked about as far as stable coins? Or is it like store of value because the same thing is happening around the world? There's the devaluation of fiat currency.
Well, for Hong Kong case, because like Hong Kong is still a very developed region. So the reason why we use crypto, I'm sure, is very different from other places. Because when I was like checking out the world ranking in terms of like the crypto adoption ranking, like the top 10 countries, they are mostly less developed region. And the reason that they adopted crypto was for like very different reasons. Maybe for payments, they have to send across to different countries. Maybe like the family worked in a higher income country like the US, they have to send it over to Philippines or Vietnam, or because there's like local currency or depreciating so much, they have to hold Bitcoin or even USD for that matter. But for Hong Kong, we are mostly seeing it as investment. So the culture is a little bit more degen. Like, because I talked to people from different countries, from different parts of the world. So far, I got the feeling that Chinese people, Korean people, and like some of the Hong Kong people are really degen. So if you give them $100, they'll bet like $110 to buy some like altcoins or shitcoin and stuff.
Yeah, that sounds okay. I guess we're not too far away because that's the exact same thing that's going on in the United States right now. And it's not so much about just meme coins that's going on. There's this thing called DraftKings and FanDuel. And I just read an article about that, about how there is a massive amount of people, which is essentially bookie gambling cross states on sports. Because I was always wondering, like, where do people go? But that's a whole other story for another thing. So thank you for just giving us a peek behind the curtain about what's going on, because now I get it. I mean, there's actually a lot of similarities between Americans and what's going on in Hong Kong and definitely Korea. So we can see that. Great. Thanks, Gem. So we talked about real quick about Bit Digital. We talked about Bit Mining, of course, the Treasury Company. And now there's another one. I've never heard of this one, but apparently it's been going on for a little bit. Upexi. There's another Solana treasury firm. And I want people to, you who are listening to the stream right now, think about the same digital assets that keep getting talked about again and again and again. It's Bitcoin, it's Ethereum, it's Solana, it's XRP, and then a host of others. Just cue into what I think the winners are going to be. And I'm not saying that just because we talk a lot about this or about that and these companies picking up that your altcoin won't do great. I'm sure your altcoin will do awesome. I'm just saying, just pay attention to the ones that seem to be mentioned quite a bit and are winning. So this Solana treasury firm, Upexi, is raising $200 million to bolster its SOL treasury. Upon completion, the firm will have more than 1.6 million SOL, valued around $250 million, or 270 million. So that got me thinking about these. So we're talking about just these three, because I find it fascinating that there's more than just the Bitcoin treasury companies. Now it's the Ethereum treasury and the Solana treasuries and also the XRP treasuries. So my question was this: what does Upexi, I hope I'm saying that right, Upexi Inc., what do they do? Are they some very savvy TradFi firm? Are they something that really delves into the history of crypto? No. Upexi is a brand owner, engages in the development, manufacture, and distribution of consumer products like nail grinders, healthy all-natural pet supplements, energy solutions, functional mushrooms under the Cure Mushroom brand, craft cannabinoid under the Moonwalker brand, and gummies and other products under the Gummy Labs brand. Now, look, you can do whatever you want to as far as the company. I'm just glad that you are pumping all of our bags and you are putting it on the balance sheet. That is fantastic. I appreciate you. I'm just curious to see like what they've done before besides just the Bitcoin mining companies. And the next question I had was this: how long have they been doing it? Well, Sol became a part of Upexi's Solana treasury just recently. They first announced its intention back in April, raising $100 million. And that raise sent shares of Upexi up. So let's just do this real quick, and then we'll get to the giveaway. Upexi, here's their stock price. That's the whole point of this. They put this on the balance sheet. Let's see how the stock does. Now, we have to zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out, right? So for one day, we can't really give this too much credence. So for 5 days, over 1 month, sure, going just back to June. Here's 6 months. And when I saw this, I'm like, oh, that's when they put it on the balance sheet, April 17th. And it went from $2 to $15. There's obviously a reason for that. Maybe they are huge believers into it. Or maybe they're just like companies in the .com era that say, you know what, let's just put .com behind our name and just start throwing things out there and we'll see if it sticks. And the reason why I'm asking and telling everybody about this is because I don't know what's going to happen in the future, especially with these companies. You can see that the only time they've actually had a big pump is when they just talked about digital assets and putting it on the balance sheet. That would lead me to also Bit mining. How have they done? Well, here's a 1 day, 5 days. When did they do all this stuff? Well, okay. 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years. It's interesting to note they were sideways. This is the Bit mining company. They were a mining operation. They were doing just fine. You know, not anything great. But when they pivoted, here's what we have. And then if we take a look at all, well, you can see why they might want to do that. Because over time, and I don't know if they had a stock split, I don't know if there's other underlying circumstances, but you can just see the stock price has been pretty awful. And then that also would lead us to the last one, Bit Digital, where they totally pivoted. Here's 1 day, 5 days, 1 month. Not too bad. But take a look at this. I think this is part of the reason why some of these companies, especially Bitcoin miners, there's so much competition that they have to pivot and do something different because they're might be washed away with all the requirements. And here we are today. So the reason why I brought this up is just to bring people's awareness to this could be a problem moving forward. There's a difference between a Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy and some of these other CEOs coming out. And I don't know if they're going to be the diamond hands that we all think they are. So if you think they're going to be there forever, maybe, but I'm just bringing it to everybody's attention. Jim, I'm sorry, that was a very long explanation, but what do you think about all that? And what do you see over there in Hong Kong? Any businesses doing the same thing?
Yeah, some of the Hong Kong companies have Bitcoin on the balance sheet. Those are not a lot though.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do definitely see this is going to be a trend. And kind of circle back to what you said about MicroStrategy. Like MicroStrategy can get away because they've been doing that for like since 2020 or something. So the average buy is like 70K per coin per Bitcoin. So it's extremely low compared to what the Bitcoin's current price we are at right now. But like I agree with you. Like one of these companies, whether they're doing it for Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana, because they are getting in so late, kind of like because everyone is on the train, so I might as well get on the train. It's more like a press thing. I would say it's more like a PR press, and maybe second reason that they want to do it because they are a zombie companies. Like some of them are very zombie companies. They are not generating much revenue. So if all these companies all of a sudden hopping on, I agree with you. It sounds like a bubble, but at the same time, how long does this bubble would actually burst? Sometimes it would take months, sometimes even years. So, but it certainly feels like bubble.
It somewhat feels like, I think there's going to be some winners. There's going to be some people that stick around, like the dot-com era. They figured it out. I think MicroStrategy, MetaPlanet, those types of companies, yeah, I'm pretty sure Michael Saylor's like, look, I'm not selling. And I believe him. I do believe him that he's probably going to keep that on. But some of these other companies that I'm just like, just coming into it, I'm like, I don't know. So good analysis. Thanks, Jim. So that'll be just something for everybody in the comment section to think about. Not saying it's going to happen, just saying something to definitely consider as we get into this, I think, a pretty bullish market. So getting into the bullish market is great, but we got to have protection. Jim, you did a great video on Tangem, and you talked about the pros and the cons and some updates. Can you just give us a quick review of what's going on with Tangem? And just so everybody knows, me and Jim both have Tangems. I've used them for a couple of years now. I was using Ledger before. I still use a Ledger, but I still I like Tangem a little bit better. But Jim, what do we got for these updates?
Yeah, I'm with you. I started using Ledger because like I've been in crypto for like almost 5 years. So of course the OG wallet is going to be Ledger. And when I initially switched over to Tangem, like my reaction was that I opened a box and I was like, that's it. Like, where's the cable? Like I only get 3 cards. So yeah, I really like when it comes to the size of the wallet because it's literally just 1 card, and I can. I have the special edition. It's a Shiba
Nice
Inu.
card. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the vibrant color here, and I also have the classic blank card. So when I looked at it, I was like, oh, this thing is like I can easily bend it. It must be very fragile or something. But like, I was completely wrong because I saw some of the videos by the Tangem team. This thing is like heat proof, it's shock proof. So basically, and bulletproof. I wouldn't say bulletproof, but like if you hold a gun and shoot at the Tangem card, of course you're gonna see the hole. But if you use your phone and do the NFC thing, the chip will still go through because inside there's a very secure chip by Samsung. Is EAL6 Plus, which is the equivalent to your passport, so the same security. So that's how much I love about Tangem, and there's also a 25-year chip lifespan. So that's how confident Tangem is too when it comes to their own product.
Yeah, not too bad. So real quick, talk to us about the upgrades. I know that staking is a big thing for everybody here. Everybody loves staking, and we talked about this on iTRUST. Tangem, I know, did a couple of them. I'm not for sure which ones there. I know it's Solana. I'm pretty sure it's BNB. What else do they have as far as like staking?
Yes, you're right. I have personally only used Solana for staking. Yeah, and BNB as well, but I can't remember exactly the APR or the list that they add because like I would say like I feel like every single week there's some new developments from Tangem. Just the past week update, there's like new NFT because like Tangem has been teasing out this NFT for a while. Like I've been working with the project with them for more than 2 years, whether it's on my channel or talk to the team. So one thing I noticed about Tangem is that they will tease out the features, but it takes time for them to actually roll out. And the Visa integration, they have been delaying for years. But like one thing about Tangem is that, okay, despite the delay, one day they're going to deliver. And I personally have been using the Solana staking, and I really like how you can just handle everything within the app. So you can now like on RAM, off RAM, buy or sell or swap. Of course, like all these features is going to be supported by third party. At the moment, I think it's OKX.
Yeah.
And also you have to, when it comes to on-ramp and off-ramp, is restricted by regions. So you have to pay attention where you're from.
See, this is the awesome thing about you being in Hong Kong, is that you can talk about OKX and these different exchanges. Like I cannot do that, because I mean, I can talk about it, but like the fees, you have minimal fees. And I'm going to show you just how bad it gets here in America. So like real quick, thank you, Johnny, for sending this to me. He said, this is what the updates are. So staking, as far as like with Tangem, they support Tron, Cosmos, and Solana. I was like, okay, so I was wrong in the BNB. But they're going to add Polkadot, Polygon, Cardano, Binance, Ton, Kronos, and Near. So if everybody's into staking, and I'm staking all of my, well, I'm staking a big chunk of my Solana right now, and also my Tron. I don't have any Cosmos, so not that. But when the upgrade comes, I will stake my little bit of Polkadot, my little bit of Polygon, my monstrous, fat, huge bags of Cardano. Actually, now I'll probably stake them with my own stake pool. Binance, Ton, I have those. Kronos and Near. Yeah, I'll be doing all this staking. So I'll be definitely things I will be doing. And then also the other part to this would be, oh, Gem. This is the other thing. The fees. Like you said, like, you know, you're in Hong Kong, fees aren't too bad. Check this out. So I did this today, and on Tangem, you guys don't have to go to your exchange to buy your crypto. You can go through Tangem. I did this myself, and because I'm in the United States, which I love the United States, but the fees themselves, because of Apple Pay, I tried to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, and the fee, because I had to use Apple Pay, was $6.25. So I got $93.75. So if you're looking for that and you're outside the United States, might be something for you like Gem. But if you're in the United States and stuck like me, watch out for those fees, because they can be pretty vicious. Gem, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like, some of the fees are ridiculous. So despite Tangem over this like all-in-one UI UX, so the friction is extremely low, but it comes with a price, right? Like if you opt for convenience, then there's a price to pay. So for my user, I will still advise to buy that crypto that you need, or buy that Tether USDT in Hong Kong, because a lot of people buy USDT from a third party, from an exchange, from OTC, and then sending it to Tangem. Because like one thing for me of the habit that I have when it comes to using a cold wallet, I try to stay as offline as possible. Like, yes, I know there's like an option to switch around or to connect to a centralized exchange or OKX, but like at the end of the day, I'm using it for the security, for the offline feature. So I know they have this option. It's great. It's convenient, but at the same time, I will separate my wallet. So I have different Tangem cards, different whether it's the rain or like different edition. And one thing great about Tangem is that you can add like up to 40 wallets within the app. So maybe separate like one of the wallet into like offline, the second one, if you like the convenience to swap around to on-ramp or off-ramp, you can do so. But like always a great idea to diversify, even when it comes to cold wallets.
Exactly. Diversify, diversify, diversify. Everybody, if you're looking for some great tutorials on Tangem, I linked in, I'm pretty sure I put the X account. I'll put the YouTube account also in the description, so check that out. And just like Jem was talking about, as far as diversification, we're on the same page. I am not going to be one of those guys who said, you know what, I just lost my cards, or there was a fire and I lost my entire life savings. I will diversify. So I have them in 3 places as a reminder. iTRUST for custodial services. They use the same custodial services that MicroStrategy and BlackRock use, which is Coinbase Prime. You're essentially getting institutional grade custody, and you're going to get that for essentially free to send in, and they'll hold it for you for as long as you want to. Now, if you want to cash out, it is 1%, but I'll pay the 1% later when Bitcoin's at 10 million or whatever it is. I've got multiple ledgers, multiple Tangems, and I want to give the same thing to you. So I think it is time to give some Tangems away. All right, so let's see what we got. I asked you guys just to put some comments in about why you want one, so we'll go from there. First of all, well, there's Jem. DB Crypto. DB Crypto says, because the L word sucks and no longer supports my Nano S. That is true. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Nano S, the regular, the Ledger's not going to support it. But I think the Nano S Plus, they're still going to support. And I'm not here to bomb on anybody. That's Ledger's decision, so much whatever. DB says, I educate, preach security. I'm cheap AF, and I promise to troll your YouTube account if I went. First of all, DB Crypto doesn't need these cards. DB, if you're listening, I will reach out to you and I will get you in touch with my guys over at Tangem. They'll send you some so you can do the same thing and give some cards away. So you are not going to get any. Los Local, I have currently no hardware wallets. It's pretty funny. I need to buy some of my Ledger. It's pretty good. Sharktoshi, yours aren't open. The people have ordered them in states. I know it's all coming open. So they avoid Tangem. They claim it's custom. I claim BS. Tangem is the most shilled product in the history of crypto. I don't trust anything advertised that much. I don't think Sharktoshi really wants one, so we'll keep going. Uzi, I need Tangem to stay safe. Oh my coins. Uzi, you're a winner. Hold on. So here's how this is going to work. Okay. Uzi, I already follow you, so I'm going to send you a message. If you're a scammer in the audience and you try to send me a DM, I will ignore you. Everybody that I am picking as a winner, I will start to follow, and I will send you a message right after this. So if you're a scammer, you can give me a shot, but I get about 1,000 DMs every single day, and I'll just annoy you, so just don't waste your time. All right, Uzi, one winner. Who else we got? Let's see. Simple, Pooch, Merida. Enzo, my guy. I know Enzo. He doesn't need one either. Let's see. All right, this Tangent because I've been with Ledger for a while, looking for a better option. Oh, damn, that's close. Okay. Crypto T says, because I lost money on Celsius, FTX, Luna, and got scammed. Jesus. On the ICOs, learning from my mistakes, proudly telling people about them. Hopefully we're the same. Definitely the hardware wallet. Still happy with it. Okay. Damn, that sucks. Crypto T, you're a winner. I have a soft spot for people who have lost, especially in scams. So, my man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you deserve a cold wallet.
You need one. I need to diversify from my Ledger. That's okay. You got one. Okay, Ledger, they stopped supporting. Well, that sucks. I need a Tangent for my wife. You'll be okay. Is that Rob? Let's see. Crypto. Let's deep dive. Tangent. Spreading my messages. I was a bit. Yeah, there we go. I was a Voyager victim. I begged for a better option. And Nate, you were also a winner. Okay. So everybody, that's it. We gave away 4. I'm gonna reach out to Tangem again, and we'll get some more cards, and I'll try to give them away. Or you can just check out Jem's channel. I'm sure she's gonna probably give away some very soon. I'm not for sure, so you can check that out. Jem, what's coming up on your channel? Anything good?
We just dove into the ETH Treasury and Solana Treasury, and I think that's gonna be a narrative in the coming weeks. So perhaps I'm going to do some research and do a video about it.
That sounds good. Hey, real quick before we go, how's just give us like a quick overview of like your portfolio. Like, what do you believe in? What's the majority? Like mine is, I've got like 80% Bitcoin. Then after that, I've got a bunch of Solana and Cardano and Ethereum and stuff like that. Anything outside of that realm?
Outside of that realm, maybe Hyperliquid. I used to Hyperliquid, the DAX.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think. Yeah, Hyperliquid. So I bought Hyperliquid when it was at like $10. So right now I'm doing okay. I took half of the profit off, not gonna lie. I was really bullish when it came out because that was like a really great product. The whole UI UX feels like you're just using a centralized exchanges. It doesn't feel like a DEX at all. So they have really good tokenomics. I saw the opportunity as almost like an early play for BNB. That's why I got it at $10. And I shared why I got in on Twitter back in 2024, so last year. And right now, I'm taking a little bit of profit off the table. First of all, it's at all-time high, so like you have to take off the risk, right? And then second of all is that Hyperliquid is like the biggest DEX in the space already, so it's taking so much volume. And now I'm asking myself a question: is that how big can it actually get? Like, would it actually beat a centralized exchange volume? So that's the question I've been asking myself, and I took the decision to sell a little bit, take a little bit of profit.
Guys and people listening, let that burn into your memory. Taking profits, not a bad thing, very smart thing to do. Gem, thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it a ton. And also, Rusty, thanks for the sticker. I appreciate it. Next time, don't give us stickers, just buy your crypto. And then also, thanks to Uzi gifting 5 Digital Asset News memberships. We appreciate it, especially for everybody who got those memberships. And that's it for today. So look, if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. We talk about is time sensitive. I'll reach out to those people who won today. Don't forget to follow Gem, and we will see you guys on the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Adios.
Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.